Welcome to this Equestrian Vaulting USA video series designed to inspire and educate our vaulting community on the one-star compulsories. This video is about the half mill. First, we will outline the essence and mechanics of the half mill, followed by a more in-depth explanation of how to train and coach this compulsory. We will finish with guidance and tips from our kind judges. This video is made possible by the donations from the generous members of Equestrian Vaulting USA. Thank you. The essence and mechanics. The essence of all compulsories is harmony with the horse. The additional essences that are specific to the mill are body control, posture, and flexibility. The first leg pass starts from seat astride in a position similar to basic seat. The right leg is stretched and carried over the horse's neck. The first leg pass ends with the vaulter sitting in sideways seat inside. The second leg pass starts from sideways seat inside, and the left leg is carried over the horse's croup to the backward seat. During the whole exercise, the vaulter remains in a correct, balanced sitting position, in a physiological posture. The ears, shoulders, hip joint, and ankle of the resting leg form a vertical line. The feet are pointed. During the leg passes, the upper body may lean back at a minimum angle of 10 degrees behind the vertical in order to remain in balance. For seat astride and backward seat, see the basic seat. In sideways seat, the vaulter's shoulder axis is parallel to the horse's spine and is facing inside, legs together, with most of the leg's backside in contact with the horse. All leg passes are executed in a high, wide, and symmetric arc, with maximum elevation and ample movement scope. The movements are fluid, controlled, and carried out with a constant speed. Each handle is released and retaken in turn as the leg passes. The moment of release or retaking the handles is up to the vaulter. The hands are either on a handle or free and not in contact with the pad or the horse. The head, shoulders, and pelvis rotate simultaneously. The mill is performed in a 4-stride rhythm.
Hi, I'm Kaylin and this is Phoenix, and we're going to show you an exercise for rhythm and timing. So if you have vaulters that struggle to find their tempo and to correctly count their mills, this is a fun exercise that you can do. So we're going to play some music that just has a steady beat, and what I'm going to ask her to do is count nice and slow to the rhythm, and then I'm going to ask her to count faster to the same rhythm. So I'll give you an example. Go ahead and play the music. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to go faster. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So what we're going to do now, go ahead and take the riding seat position. We're going to do a half mill with the tempo of the music. And the goal is to be lifting your leg on 1. Your leg should be at the center of the horse on 2. You're turning and wrapping down 3, sitting 4, so you can lift again on 1. Okay? All right, we're going to play the music. Slower time. Now it's not super important for this exercise that their mill is completely perfect. We can do drills for that later. Okay, let's try the fast one now. This one's a little harder. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, harder, right? You have to stay more focused. So let's try it again. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and off. Okay? So you can have fun going back and forth. Pick a song with a strong beat that's easy to count, and go back and forth between doing a slower count and then the faster count. and have fun watching your kids try to learn how to keep that rhythm all by themselves. I like to align barrels all in a line and have the kids do it together, so you can really work on counting. And it's great for a team to look really unified. It also just makes them feel cool. So, good job.
Hi everyone, I'm Ali DeVita.
And I'm Bianca Harris.
And today we're going to teach you some drills to do for the mill. So, as Kaylin and Phoenix just told you, a big component of the mill is about the timing. Next up, we're going to teach something that I find to be really important, which is the ability to move your leg as something separate or together with your body. So you'll see what I'm talking about in this drill. So I'm going to use Bianca as my partner, and you can do this. You can have your kids work together in pairs, or you can work with them as a coach. Go ahead and have one person hold the leg, and then Bianca's just going to start to move my foot. And at first, I'm going to keep my shoulders and my hips. Yep, and then she can move back in the other direction. I'm just shuffling my toes to keep moving. Good, and let's do it one more time to see how my shoulders and my hips stay moving to face that toe so that my body moves with the leg. So now, next up, and you can take a little break in between, you'll then work on the part of the mill in which the leg and the body move separately from each other. So now I'll hand my partner the leg, and I'm going to keep everything the same. Nothing moves. My shoulders and my hips stay the same. And when that leg goes, it just goes out to the side, and then it comes. And I can feel my core is working really hard here, and also my balance is very tuned in. So you can do that one about 5 to 6 times each leg. And then we'll come to the barrel, and I'll just go ahead and have you also be the one holding the leg. And I'll bring you around to this side, and let's have you just bring my leg to the center and then back. So in the first part of the mill, that leg is moving and my body's not. So you can even ask your kids, is the first part of the mill moving together or separate from the body? And they might have to think about it, but once they grasp that concept, I think it makes for a really clean mill. So you can see everything is still except for my leg, moving back, and then back down. Good. And then you can go on, and these are called quarter mills. So I'm doing a quarter of a circle. So we'll start now here. Now everything locks in. Shoulders, hips, leg, everything moves together. And we can just go back and forth, and everything's having to adjust. My hips, my shoulders, everything. We'll just go one more time. And you can see here too, and I'll go ahead and just let that come down. By the time that leg comes around, shoulders, hips, everything is exactly where it needs to be. And you can also do this drill with your hands on the body or the shoulders to make sure that you're not leading with the shoulder. So for example, you might see a kid that starts to turn with their shoulder first, and then the legs come. So in doing this drill then separately on their own, you can tell them, all right, shoulders, hips, and leg move together. And they can do the drill without a partner as well. Shoulder, hip, leg, turn together. Then everything locks in. It freezes like an ice cube. Everything stays still except for the leg. And then you can repeat that, thinking about which parts of the mill are together and which parts are separate. And that's our first drill. Our next drill is working on really wrapping the legs with the horse. Make sure to check out the basic seat or the riding seat video for more on this, because the foundation of the mill is really having that nice harmonious seat with the horse. So this one is a really fun exercise. You can go and have your vaulters find something around the barn. I found this little piece of paper that came with the grain, and they'll tuck it underneath just their heel. Oh yeah, sorry, wrong foot. There you go. So they'll hold that in. You can say, imagine that it's a $100 bill or something that you really don't want to lose. Make sure to check in on their seat, that they have a nice long angle with their hips are nice and open and wrapped, and then they'll just do the mill, holding that piece of paper in place, nice and simple. And then of course, if that paper comes out, it's that immediate feedback to know, oh, I wasn't actually making contact with the horse, and they have that for their own learning in such a clear visual way that I find to be really fun and productive as a coach. All right, so this next one is a visual exercise, sort of like an explanation to show your vaulters where their sit bones should be throughout the mill. So I'll have the camera angle come over, and I've got 2 rocks. You can use anything. You can even just use your fingers to show a representation of where the sit bones are when your vaulter is sitting forward. So you can imagine someone facing forward. We're gonna have the whip here too, is gonna represent the horse's spine, just so we can see where center is. So right, when you start the mill, you're sitting center, 1 sit bone on either side of the horse. To point out to your vaulters is that this inside sitting bone, as in the left one, needs to pull back in order for them to both end up in a balanced position as they sit to the inside. The same thing will then need to occur for the next leg pass, thinking about how those sitting bones need to move in space for them to land with 1 on each part of the spine. You can do this as a partner exercise where one vaulter that's actually acting as a coach represents where they think their partner's sitting bones are. So right now I'm facing forward, this represents right and left, and then as I would come to do that pass, you could see if I didn't move my left sitting bone, that rock doesn't move. But once I scooch it back, you can see now they're by their side. And it's just a good visual for then, as we come around, when is that left one moving? Oh good, by the time I'm backwards, they're both on each side of the spine equally. The following are some drills and exercises for the mill that you can do with your vaulters on the horse. You'll find ways to include these in progressions as your vaulters move through various stages. One of my favorite ways to teach harmony with the horse for the mill is doing a hula hoop side seat. So this can be without hands, as Bianca shows here, or else with 1 hand on the handle, as the vaulter really lets their hips move side to side with the horse. Another great exercise for the mill is to do a single arm or no-handed mill at the walk, trot, or canter. This is great for seeing the positioning of the shoulder as well as the movement of the hips and the torso with the leg. Once the vaulter is comfortable and confident to do this at the walk, you can have them do either the hula hoop side exercise as well as the single-handed mill at the canter. The following is a full yoga class designed to help increase the strength and improve the mobility required for the half mill. Feel free as a coach to take notes on exercises that you would like to include in your vaulting practices, or also to have your athletes follow along from start to finish.
We're going to start standing, and before we get into some of the nice juicy yoga stretching cool down, we're going to come into a little bit more core work here, really focusing on what we need to access for that great mill. So from here, we're just going to come to standing, and we're going to lift that left knee up to a 90 degrees, and let's go breathing in, reach the arms up. As you exhale, you can just bring the elbows sliding down your back, focusing on that posture. So from the front, it looks like this. Inhale, reaching up. As you exhale, press the arms back. If you want more, you're going to inhale, lift that leg, and either holding it or exhale to bend. So inhale, straighten, reach. Exhale, one more time at the center. Inhaling, exhale. Now, go ahead and turn that leg out. Same thing, 3 times. We're going to inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, try to keep that left hip down. Inhale, lifting. Exhale. Last time, let's point the foot if you're not already. Inhale and exhale. Good, go ahead and shake that off. We'll just come straight to the other side. So first, just the arms reaching. Inhale and exhale. Focus on the posture, ribs down. Inhaling. If you want, you're adding that leg lifting. And exhale. Breathing in and lift. And exhale. Last time at center, you can point for the last one. Inhale. Exhale. 3 times out to this side. Inhale, lifting. Exhale. Shoulders posture. Inhale, reach. Exhale, keep the hip under. Inhale, last time. And exhale. Good. Go ahead and shake that off. Final thing here for the core, getting nice and strong. For that mill, you're going to come into a little bit of a straddle, and we're just going to lift 10 times with the hands in between the legs and the legs out wide, and then we'll lift. We're going to do 10 times of lifting the legs, and then 10 times of lifting the hips, and then we'll stretch it out. So from here, let's go. Fingertips, trying to sit up nice and tall, and lift. And lower with your breath. For 3. For 4, inhale and exhale. For 5, halfway, 5 more. Inhale, exhale. Breathing in and really trying to lower slow. If you want more, you don't even let those heels tap. We've got 3. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Try not to lean back too far. Breathing in and out. Good. Come to center. So you're here. Legs together. So if you need to, you can put yourself on your fingertips, or else you're here on your palms, and we're lifting feet for 10. And down. Lift and lower. So it's a little harder to keep the full palms on the floor. If you need to, you can lift onto the fingertips. Lifting and lowering, getting so strong here. We've got 5. Inhale and lower. Inhale, exhale. Breathing in and out. 2 more. Breathing in and lower. Breathing in. Slowly lower. Final thing here before we stretch it out. You're going to lift and lower in the hips. Lifting and lowering. Now, if you can lift and lower, and don't lower all the way, or else you're lifting and lowering again. It's a little harder to be on the palms because it means that you're not having as much leverage, as much height with the arms, and you're really having to crunch the lower belly. Let's do 5 more from here. Really point the toes, lift and lower, and lift and lower, lift and lower. You guys got it. Last one, maybe a bonus one, and hold. All right, go ahead and lay it on back onto the mat. Rock and roll forward and back, and then slow down those rocks and go side to side. We're going to really get into those hips and open it out. So start to circle at the knees in both directions, like your legs are big wooden spoons, and you're just stirring up at the hips, loosening things up, and then just let the knees fall out. You're either going to hold here, or else straightening one leg at a time, or both legs. And then happy baby. So grabbing hold of the soles of the feet, you're going to breathe in through the nose, flutter the lips. It might seem silly, but breathing in, soften the face. One more like that. When you breathe in through the nose, soften in the forehead, and then flutter the lips. Bring the soles of the feet together. And the reason we do that is because when you're soft in the jaw and you're soft in the face, you're soft in the hips as well. That connection. It's actually the reason why you'll see, when you're really tense, then you start to bite down in your jaw. And if you can soften that, you're also going to soften in your hips. So if you're really tense and you're tight through the hips, you can start that by just softening in your jaw. Good. We're going to rock and roll and come all the way into a downward facing dog. If you want to lift like we did before, lift your hips, tuck it through, and downward facing dog. However it takes to get there. You're going to take your left leg and bring it outside of your left hand. You're going to inhale to lift, and then downward facing dog. Exhale, right foot this time, lizard lunge. Let those hips drop. Inhale and exhale. Good. This time we're going to add on. We're going to inhale, drop the hips, lizard lunge, and then straighten through the leg. Exhale. Drop it low once again, and then downward facing dog. Right side. Inhale, drop the hips. We're opening through the left thigh, right hip. Straighten the leg. Exhale. Back forward. Inhale. Downward facing dog. One more time each side. Left side, lizard lunge. Nice wide lunge. Straighten the leg. Exhale. Long pyramid. Back to lizard lunge. This time you can drop that knee to the floor. Reach around. Grab hold. Give that quad 2 breaths. Really opening up through that right hip flexor, right quad. Good. And then half split. Stretching, folding over that left leg. Dial the left toes out to the left. Good. You're going to sweep it around to the right. 2 breaths to stretch into the left inner thigh. Maybe plant the palms. Relax the chest. Coming all the way back around to that half split. Folding and then lift the left hand and twist. So you can sweep and lift. 2 more breaths. Really getting into that outer left hip IT band. One more time to circle. Good. Plant both hands. Tuck the back toe. Downward facing dog. Right leg forward. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Wide pyramid. Coming back forward, stay here, drop that back knee, grab hold with the opposite arm, 2 breaths to get into that hip flexor and quad. Getting into the hips with breath, with movement, slowly going deeper, half split, flex that front foot and dial the right toes out to the right. Good, you're going to bring that right hand out and circle. So really breathing into that outer right hip, IT band. One more time. Good, and then turn it to the left. Now we're into the right inner thigh. You can come to elbows if that's available, or stack fists or palms, or else it might look more like this, getting into that right inner thigh. Sweep it back. One more time to stretch into the outer right hip. Plant both hands, step it back. Downward facing dog. Bring the knees down, child's pose. 2 breaths. And it's important that as you're getting into deep work, deep openings, that your body feels safe and supported. Because if you're just stretching like crazy, your body's actually going to react and build tighter tissues because it feels like it's not safe and it needs to become stronger or actually tighter so that things don't fall out of place. So it's really important that you're always feeling relaxed as you're opening up into these postures. Good. From here, we're going to come into a pigeon stretch. So come to plank. Take your least mobile leg. I'm going to start with the left knee to that left wrist, flexing in the left foot, and then go ahead and come down onto your forearms. Drop the head. If you have a lot of range of motion, then you drop your forehead onto your palms. And if that's too much, you just press your palms into the earth. Find 3 breaths here. One more breath. Now, everyone walk your chest and your hands towards that foot. So if you've got your left leg forward, and you walk it towards the right. Just enough. Maybe if it doesn't feel good on your joints, definitely. If you feel this on your joints, you back off. You only want to feel the stretch and the opening in the muscles, never the joints. We don't stretch joints because that's an injury. Very difficult to heal from. So 3 breaths over onto the right side, either on your palms or upright. And as a note, if you're feeling like you need more of a stretch, bring your heel away from you. If you're feeling like you need less of a stretch, bring your heel closer to you. And if your knee and your hip are high up off the ground, go ahead and place a block or a book or some blankets underneath that hip. Good. Everyone plant the hands, tuck the toes, send it back. Three-legged dog, big circles with that knee. Sweep the blood, let it all flow back fresh. And then right leg lifts, inhale. Come on through to plank. Right knee to the wrist, flex that front foot. You're either here pressing on the hands or folding forward, 3 breaths. You can stay here or 3 breaths off to the foot side, either down or planting. Getting into a different angle on that outer hip. Really flex that front foot. 2 more breaths. And then go ahead and plant both hands. Tuck the back toe. Sweep it up and back. Big circles with that knee or leg. Bent or straight. Downward facing dog. Good. Take a shorter stance with your downward facing dog, so maybe step the feet in a little, and then take opposite hand to the outer opposite ankle, and you can shift your weight side to side, getting into the outer leg. Switch sides, outer ankle, planting your weight onto that same foot of the ankle that you're grabbing. Good, and then go ahead and drop the knees to the floor, child's pose. Let it go. Soften the shoulders. Everyone go ahead and lay down onto your back. And final thing here, hug that right knee in. Go ahead and kick out through that leg and then kick against your own hand. Kick, so you're either holding up the hamstring, the calf, or if you can get that heel and kick, 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 and then relax. Bring that right foot across towards your left shoulder and then kick, 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 and then relax. Bring that right foot out towards the right, so either here on the back of the leg, wherever you can grab it. Kick into your own hand, and then relax, and then bend the knee and twist. And this is a good one to do in between because it reminds your body to rest. 2 breaths. So good for posture, lengthen the spine. Switch sides, hug both knees in. And then get that left leg, so either at the back of the hamstring, the calf, or holding onto that heel. Kick into your own leg. Kick, 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 kick. And relax. Bring it across the body, outer IT band. Kick gently. And relax. Open that left leg out, or opposite, the same side. Kick into your own hands. Relax. And then bend the knee and twist across. Gaze goes in the opposite direction as the knee. 2 big breaths here. Long exhale. Good. Bring both knees into the chest. Give yourself a big hug, big squeeze, and then you're going to take at least 3 breaths in your final resting pose. Let everything go. Let the toes turn in and out and in and out. Palms open and close onto the floor, and then let them settle into stillness wherever they land. 3 breaths. Feel everything opening up. Noticing a sense of space, a sense of opening in the lower body especially. You're welcome to stay here longer, or else rolling out through the ankles and wrists. Reach the arms overhead, rolling onto one side. Take an extra breath to linger. There's plenty of time. Slowly pressing your way back to a seated position, sitting here tall. Hopefully you all enjoyed this class today.
Hi, my name is Alejandra Orozco. I'm an AVA judge as well as a Mexican judge and an international judge. I'm going to give you a few tips or comments on what we normally see as judges when we see each compulsory in a competition. For a half mill, or any mill for that matter, one of the essences of the mill, so what we're looking for in the exercise, it's one of the main aspects in it is the seat itself. So yes, we tend to focus a lot on how high your leg is, but remember, the essence of the mill is the riding seat itself. So making sure your posture is correct and making sure, again, both your sit bones are on the horse at all times. So make sure you don't lose that in order to gain height with your leg. And remember to count. That's a super easy fix that if you remember to count, you're already getting more points than if you miss a stride because you forgot to count your mill. So every leg pass should be 4 times, 4 counts, and you should be good.